Welcome everyone. We have the Transformers MPG-11 DK-2 guard. This guy is basically an homage to the Diaclone, one of the Diaclone versions of what eventually became Ironhide. The DK-2 guard moniker came from some expanded media. Can't remember where that came from, and I do believe Takara adopted that sometime back when they were doing the G1 reissues. They were doing recolors. So the idea of this character being a Transformer has been around for a while. This is also, at least for me, our first original G1 character or mold that we've gotten to the MPG line. So I'm sure Takara will produce more recolors. There's a few more flavors of characters out there that haven't been done as recolors that were Diaclone, but we're kind of getting close to being complete with what is possible. Me personally, I would still like a toy version of Skids. So the blue and red with the head that has the antennas on it. That would be my wish list. So if Takara is listening, please do that. So looking at the box, we got the MPG logo. This is in a foil. It's got like a shimmery, metallic look to it. We got Nissan branding, so that's cool. He is a Cybertron custodian. And also we have the T-Spark logo. So I think anything that's like premium that Takara Tomy does going forward is going to have T-Spark on it. So on the top, we have the MPG and DK guard. On this side, we have the vehicle mode. On the other side, we have robot mode. There is the UPC for those who want that, and there is a QR code if you want to see that. And then on the back, we've got a demonstration of robot mode, vehicle mode. He does have his weapon pack designed to look like the original toys back end piece. It does illustrate that he comes with an extra head, and he's got a ton of weapons and some stickers. So let's go ahead and get him out of the box. So here he is in his tray. You do get a full color booklet. He comes with a file card that is cardboard, but it's very thick and it has a glossy front to it, front and back. He's got a sticker sheet to give him all the possible looks of the original G1 toy. And he even has this cutout to simulate the weird thing that Hasbro did when they brought the mold over. Basically, the chest is a cockpit for the Diaclone pilots, and they had this little sticker that you put to the seat, and you would pretend that's the face. And then when they did the cartoon, they really designed Ironhide to look like completely different from the toy. So yeah, kind of crazy, but it's cool that they included this. And then looking at the tray a little bit more, main tray, we've got vehicle, bed. We actually have quite a bit of weapons in the main tray. And then there's a little tray underneath, and we've got the rest of the weapons, a couple hands, and some, call it blast effects. These are like the backpack effects. So let's go ahead and get this guy all the way out of the box. So here he is out of the box, and normally I would go over accessories first, but since he's packed in vehicle mode, we'll talk about vehicle mode. And his accessories, strangely enough, they're all robot mode centric. These do not really mount anywhere on him. So there may be some storage underneath, but he's got a ton of weapons, and you're going to end up storing all the accessories here on the bed that he comes with. So we'll talk about these in a little bit. It's also a little strange reviewing a figure like this that came out, let's see, what was it, 10 years ago? But the mold seems to be holding up pretty well. This was from an era where we were getting more toon specific designs, and he kind of lands, I would say he's definitely toon, but he was given a few things that kind of bridge the gap a little bit, like, you know, the bumpers on the front, the chrome bumpers, with Grapple and Inferno. They gave us swap out front end, so we could have chrome or, you know, gray painted anime look. So that is one big difference with the Ironhide and Ratchet mold. I will say the pinstriping looks really nice. It's not just a simple one color job. There is an what is this, like a brownish yellow outline. The top of the line is red orange, the bottom of the line is yellow orange, and there is like some breakup at the end where it kind of you have these heavier space lines and then smaller space lines. Very 80s. This is definitely a design of the 80s. The chrome, as I mentioned, does look really nice. They also use chrome for the headlights, and that adds some, you know, premiumness to it. And then the back, he also has chrome bumper and chrome exhaust. I think that looks nice. And the figure, the vehicle mode is black, and the windows are kind of like smoke. They're like a transparent gray color. So it adds to the overall dark look of the van mode, and I think it's pretty cool. And then just like the original, he's got that robot face sitting in the front, which is kind of crazy. Okay, so that is vehicle mode. Okay, so let's transform this guy. I'm going to try to do this without instructions, which is probably not smart, but from what I remember, he's not too complicated. There's a lot of weird folding that happens in the chest, but one nice thing is, like, once you start getting things out of the way, it's pretty easy to figure out what most of the parts need to do. The feet being probably one of the easier parts to this. Always scary with these latches that I want to move right away. I always feel like I'm going to break something. Okay. And it gave a really big pop, but it didn't break, so that's good. But basically, you have to accordion. You basically have to flip this wheel and flip it back into itself here. And there's not a whole lot of room to do this. And this is going to be way harder if you have a camera in front of you. There we go. Okay. also a few areas where you have to bend plastic. Like right here, you have to kind of pull this back a little bit to get this piece to fold down. And that's always a little scary. I think that is pretty much the legs. They're in the wrong orientation, but I'll take care of that in a moment. This top part with the chest is going to be very interesting. Okay, so let's pull these forward and kind of swoop these to the back at the same time. These are just going to kind of plug into the back. There are little tabs that they go into. Just orientate it to where you can get the wheels to tab. And then these legs pull out and then turn around. So that's pretty much it for the legs. There might be a heel spur. Yeah, I think I forgot that part. So you just pull up on the bumper, that comes out, and then you have a heel spur, because he's not going to really want to stand without that. Okay. Now this is the crazy part. And I might have to look at the directions for this. But I do remember this kind of accordions in. And then the arms are going to end up kind of locking into the side. You just got to remember. Okay, so that pulls up like that. And that hides that face. Like that face doesn't stay. Basically the face is going to end up kind of pointing downwards. But this is the tricky part. So you can see that his head is right there. So we know we need to do something like this. And I'm trying to remember what to do with the side panels here. Okay. This is one of the weird parts. So you've got this piece and you need to kind of pull it away. So there's a seam right here and you're kind of pulling it out and it retracts, and I think this gives us everything that we need to start accordioning this in. I'm trying to remember if I need to do, yeah. This is, okay. So we have the arms like this. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of reorientate them just to help visualize what has to happen. So like this is good. I think this comes in at the end. This folds inward, and all this is just going to compress. It's not an easy way to describe this, but I'm just gonna have to show it to you. So pulling this down, and then this is gonna go underneath like that. The whole time you're slowly working this piece underneath. This is going to become the back, so this is kind of where your orientation is going to be. And I'm trying to remember what to do with these arms. I think the arms might need to be folded in. Yep. So arm windows go all the way in, so they can't go anymore. And then you need to bring this piece over those windows. Okay, so like that. And then somehow this gets in there. Okay. You just have to keep pushing. It's gonna lift this up. And then this, and basically you got some tabs here that go here. Yeah, you do this one time and then it's like, oh, this is so simple. But the first time you do it, it's very awkward. And even looking at directions, it's kind of like hard to figure out. And I'm a visual learner and it's still like difficult to follow the instructions on this. So these tabs basically secure the sides. You may have to see how there's some give right here. You may have to move them to get them in place properly. And they don't really snap, they just kind of go to the side there. And then you can kind of figure out what's going to happen with the shoulders at that point. So there is kind of a nub right here. You just collapse this upward and tab it in. And don't think too hard about the shoulders. Just basically get the shoulder into the position that it looks correct. You know this is going to be the back side. You know the nice smooth side is going to be the front side. The arms, you're going to need to open this and do this accordion move. And while we're here, we get the wrist out. And okay, yeah. And you have to close it a very specific way because you have a tab here that goes on the inside. That's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and get the other arm done. It will seem like you need to straighten this out more, and you don't. So just kind of be aware of that. Okay, that is robot mode. And I forgot one thing. This piece underneath needs to pull out. I'm just going to take a spludger and try to get to it, but we should have done that much earlier. So basically, that piece here should be pointing forward. So here he is in robot mode, and now we can go over the accessories. So he comes with tons and tons and tons of accessories. This is basically what Ironhide came with. Some of these connect him to the G1 cartoon, some of them connect him to the original toy. I'm going to talk about him in the sense that this is Ironhide, knowing that this is not meant to be Ironhide, this is a different character, but this mold is Ironhide, this is Ironhide's accessories, so you get the idea. So he's got two blasters, and this is what we see him use in Transformers the movie. He does have a backpack, and he's got little holes in the back to use the backpack, and he also has little booster effects for that. So that's very cool. He's got a couple, actually he has quite a bit of hand accessories. So he's got this one. I cannot tell you what substance came out of this. I think this was like coolant that came out. He had these hands where things shot out of his fingers. And then he had these, can't remember what these did. And to use them, you're going to have to transform the fist. So basically you need to put the fist up. It will reveal this nub, and that's how you use these accessories. You just plug them into the nub, and that is that. He also has a little radar dish, and there's a circle, there's a peg hole on his forearm, and you can just plug it in. It does not want to go in for some reason. It's tight, but you can plug that into his forearm. He also has some Diaclone style weapons. So he has this weapon, and he's got this, which he actually used a version of this in the cartoon also. The original toy, this fired, but in Masterpiece, this is just static. There's no button. But you can plug this into his arm, or you can plug it into his back, which was what the episode that he was in looked like. And it is articulated. So, you know, you can do some cool things and have him, you know, basically wielding like a, you know, shoulder missile launcher like some of the other Autobots. He also has a face that can be swapped out. So he's got this nice red face with blue eyes, and basically pull it from the crest, and you can put this face on, and then this face is meant to look like the sticker that, you know, went into the chest. So you can have that whole look. And then I guess if you wanted to be weird, you could pull his head off. It's just on a little ball peg, and you could take this thing and kind of situate it in here. It may take a little bit of effort to get it in there neat, but just kind of lay it up in there. And he can totally be a chest head person, so you can do that too if you wanted to. So that's also cool. And then I believe all of these accessories can end up fitting on this tray. I've never tried this myself, but I've seen the promo pictures, and I think you can end up getting most of them plugged in. You get the idea. And you got space for his other weapons, and then the guns. I think they go. Yeah, they go here. A couple different places you can put them. So you can use this bed as storage. Only thing is, I wish it had the little tank treads underneath. That's the only thing missing from this. You know, making it look completely Diaclone, but you know, it's something that they threw in. I think it's cool. Okay, so let's do some comparisons. So here he is with the original Ironhide. My copy has the, I think the Shadow Fisher upgrade. Basically move the doors from the hips to the upper area. It does quite a bit to change the look of the figure. With this being the Diaclone version, I don't mind him having these hip skirts on him, but it really did bother me with the regular release. But they do kind of complement each other. You know, they basically, it's like reverse colors to a degree. You know, imagining the gray is black. You know, you're going from the red to black and then the black to red. So those look cool together. Here he is with another fellow Diaclone figure. This guy's a Decepticon. You will notice that DK Guard does not have a faction symbol. So it's up to you to decide whether this is an Autobot, whether it's a civilian like a Cybertronian or whatever. Same thing with this guy. You have the choice of whether you want to put the Decepticon symbol on him or not. But these two do look pretty good together, so that's nice. And then last, just for scale, there could be people out there watching that maybe haven't got into Masterpiece. It is like a different league. You know, the price is a bit more. The size and the scale is quite a bit different. But just put those two together so you can see, like, if you've just been into kind of the retail stuff, this is what you get with the Masterpiece scale. So all in all, this is a nice figure. Now, if you didn't like Ironhide, the original Masterpiece release, you may not like this one. And I would say you might find yourself, you might have to be a purist to want to get these Diaclone repaints. But I do think it's a great way to take advantage of the Diaclone accessories. I would never deck out Ironhide to look like this on the shelf, but this Diaclone dude, yeah, this is like the perfect reason to display these accessories. Another thing that's like creeping up in the back of my head though is, they're going to make a Missing Link Ironhide at some point. And they're going to have this recolor of that Missing Link Ironhide when they do it. So we're getting into this world where we have like so many ways to collect the same figure from the same company, and I guess more options is better, but for me as a collector, it's blurring the lines a little bit. So I would be cool with it if Takara and Hasbro like finished out a season of characters. Like, can we get more official mini bots from season 1? Can we get Reflector from season 1? I would like that before they start moving on to making the same characters over. Like, give us the characters that we haven't got in any line. Like, for instance, Windcharger. We haven't got Windcharger in Earthrise, Legacy, or Masterpiece. So that is my only criticism. Thank you for watching. If you haven't done so, please like and subscribe, and tune into more videos coming up. Thank you.